The sky above Haifa was heavy with dust, the kind that made your lungs burn and your thoughts darker. Rafi Barak was dead. No official memo, no funeral, just a body in a closed safe house and a line scrubbed from the Mossad database. His betrayal had cost lives. The agency didn't forgive, and it certainly didn't forget. But Josh Dagan wasn't celebrating. He stood on a rooftop staring at the sea, waiting for the next order. He knew it would come soon. The deeper the betrayal, the more dangerous the mission that followed. That was the price of surviving in the shadows. Maya, safe but not untouched. Dagan had rescued her from the Hezbollah extraction team 3 nights earlier. They had tracked her across 2 cities, expecting Dagan to take the bait. He didn't. He ambushed them first, killing one, crippling another, and vanishing with Maya before the third could scream for help. She was safe now, in a Mossad-owned recovery clinic outside Beersheba. But safety wasn't healing. She had seen too much, felt too much, and when she looked at Dagan, she saw the man who brought a war to her doorstep. Still, she said only one thing before he left her bedside. Don't let it end with revenge. Make it matter. The mission 3 hours later, Dagan was summoned. Not to Mossad HQ, not to a secure phone, to the bunker beneath the Prime Minister's residence in Jerusalem. Inside, only 3 people sat at the table. The Prime Minister, Mossad Director Yael Cohen, and Josh Dagan. No aides, no recordings, no files. The Prime Minister didn't waste time. This operation doesn't exist. There will be no authorization code, no support. If you're caught, you're a rogue. He slid a photo across the table. Ebrahim Raisi. Who was Raisi? To most of the world, he was the president of the Islamic Republic of Iran, a conservative cleric with icy eyes and a fanatical loyalty to the supreme leader. But to Israel, Raisi was a weapon wrapped in robes. Decades earlier, as a prosecutor, he had overseen the mass execution of political prisoners in the 1980s. Later, he became a key figure in Iran's nuclear escalation, coordinating secret deals with North Korea and hardline factions in Syria. Now he was orchestrating a new alliance, one that included Iran, Hezbollah, Hamas, and rogue elements in Russia. Raisi had become more than a president. He was an architect of war, and Mossad had decided he would not return home from his next trip. The setup, Azerbaijan. Raisi was visiting Azerbaijan for a bilateral infrastructure project. On his return to Iran, he would travel by helicopter across treacherous terrain near the border, escorted by 2 other helicopters. Also on board his aircraft was Iran's foreign minister. The plan: sabotage the aircraft's tail rotor using a pressure-delayed explosive, planted by an asset embedded in the Azerbaijani ground team. But the device wouldn't arm unless a final trigger signal was sent from close range. That signal had to come from someone in the area, someone invisible, someone like Josh Dagan. The Operation Dagan flew in under a Turkish alias. No weapons, no Mossad gear, just a thumb-sized transmitter and a pulse sensor synced to the explosive. He positioned himself on high ground along the mountainous border region. From afar, 3 helicopters lifted into the mist. Raisi's silver EC-225 Super Puma, flanked by 2 escorts. The weather was stormy, visibility low. Perfect. When the aircraft reached altitude, Dagan checked his sightline, tapped the transmitter. A soft pulse blinked green. Armed. Seconds later, Raisi's chopper veered sharply. An internal explosion rocked the tail rotor, causing the helicopter to spin out of control and disappear into a thick ridge of trees along the mountain slope. The escort helicopters circled, panicked, unable to land. By the time the crash site was reached, everything was scorched. There were no survivors. The cover story Iran blamed fog. The IRGC claimed a mechanical failure. Others pointed to faulty Russian parts. Mossad said nothing. But in a sealed room in Jerusalem, 3 people raised a glass. History, the Prime Minister said, will never know how close it came. Dagan alone back in Haifa, Dagan stood in the shadows outside the recovery clinic. He didn't go in. He just watched Maya through the glass. She smiled at the nurse. Alive, safe. But could she ever forgive what he had become? Behind him, a phone buzzed. Encrypted. No ID. He answered. A voice. We have a new problem. And this time, it's not Iran. Dagan closed his eyes. No rest for ghosts.